Hello, it's Elaina Strongbow from SodaTutorials.com. Elaina is my in-game name, and today I'm doing the fifth in a five-part series video that's a review of Shroud of the Avatar. As I mentioned in the other video, Shroud of the Avatar has been started off back in March, April of 2013, and into its fourth year here. It is due to come out into a final release by the end part of this year, 2017. So I've been playing the game actively for just over a year. Once the game went persistent and things weren't being wiped anymore, somewhere between 1,500, 2,000 hours I've logged in. SodaTutorials.com, the website I run, that is linked over to the main thing, which is on YouTube channel, even some Twitch streaming on it. Made over 180 different videos, tutorial videos, demonstrations, whatever else for the game. So built up, I think the right to have an opinion and kind of really review the game. So I wanted to share that with new people or even current people in the game if they want to see that. The big thing is I want to give people kind of a clear-cut kind of review of the game and go over the basics, the major systems, the major components of this game. In the first part, I talked about the story, the overall game itself, the graphics of it, and the performance. In the second video, I talked about players versus enemy fighting, player versus player fighting, deck mechanics and fighting mechanics and whatnot. In the third part, I talked about crafting, a whole crafting system, which is really, I think, a highlight in this game, and the economy and how the economy works, and I think Portal Area's view and their handling of the economy. In the fourth one, I talked about social aspects of the game, which I think is hands down the best part about this game is the community, what you can do and what not. And housing, the housing aspect of it, what it is, how it kind of generally works, the pros and the cons, what you can expect as a new player, what you can do, and so on. And so in the fifth part here, I want to talk about purchasing the game, the costs of the game, what you have to do, what you can do. I'm going to talk about that, the add-on stores, and some of the money kind of stuff that's in here. And then talk about the overall review, just kind of summarize the entire thing again and wrap up the series. So let's talk about the game cost itself. So I'm going to bring up a website on here, and this is the Shroud of the Avatar website. So right now, started this Friday, so from August 9th to the 30th, is actually you can go ahead and try the game for free. There are some limitations, some things you can't do under the trial account, but you can convert the trial account to it. So you can get on, play it, download the client, play in the areas. We've even had some of the visitors come out with us on adventures, and we've helped them out, and they can interact with us. You can see them, they can see us. We just can't go in and give them like an Uber set of stuff, or transfer money to them, or back and forth. We just can't do stuff like that on there. So right now it's actually free. But if you go to the game itself, we look at the, let's go to the add-ons, where you can actually buy the game. You can buy it on Steam or you can buy it in-game. This is the early access. This is actually the digital version of the game. Hey, you get access to it. Get the game, log in, nothing else with it. 40 bucks. It's simple as that. If you are buying the game for the first time, I would not spend the $40. I would go and spend $45. There's different bundles here like Kobold, Viking, Shogun, the Japanese one, Elven, and Obsidian bundles. I'll look at the, I've purchased this Viking one for one of my characters. It's a $45 bundle. In addition to getting the account, you get a few more bank slots that you can store stuff in your bank, get a cool Viking helm. That itself is actually probably just worth the money that's in there. If I look at, let's go to Kobold. Anything else in this guy? Get your mask, cool mask, some extra bank slots. I think that's probably the best bang for the buck. I just would think that the extra $5 on it. There's one that goes a little bit more, like this one's called the Kobold Wings bundle. You get 40 bank slots, the mask, you get a fighter mask, you get some clockwork rings, a couple more decorations. Is it needed? No. I think the 40 or 45 just to get into the game is good. The good thing is if you buy a bundle, you can always upgrade it later. And what do I mean by upgrade? Let's say you had this $45 bundle and you wanted to upgrade to another one. You can upgrade to these higher ones, pay the difference and go into it, or go up from a 2-story to a 3-story. You can get property and stuff. These are all real dollar costs in there. A lot of people don't want to spend that amount of money. You don't have to. Start off with the $40 or the $45 account, be on your way, and be able to get to play with it. In addition to buying and getting access to the game, there is the add-on store. And they'll be refactoring this and changing it. There's a lot of different things like specials, new things that are out there, pets, emotes you can get, wearables, patterns, which I explained, music, indoor decorations, outdoor decorations, homes, basements, property deeds. So if I look at some new stuff that's been out here, if you've got a city-sized lot, which is big, there's a huge city-sized home. Yeah, it's $300. Viking Palisade castle walls. You can build castle walls around your lot and then put whatever you want on the inside. Or if you want a gazebo, it's $15. Or a cool sword. These aren't powerful swords. These are just for the looks. In fact, you can take that sword, and it's not lootable. It's yours. You'll never do it. You can actually salvage it and get a pattern out of it. And then you can go craft your own sword, make it all cool and magical and have lots of stats, and then apply the pattern from this one on it to make it look like a Viking short sword. So these are all decorative. They're not required. They don't make you any better. You know, if you buy the cool elven archer super bow in here, and you went up against me with my bow would take you every day of the week and Sunday. It just would. As mine's crafted and has all this magic cool stuff on it. This stuff in here is literally just decorations. So you got all these things, outfits. You want to have different outfits. Now the one thing that isn't decoration are the houses. Now popping that one's probably the more interesting. You can buy different type of houses. This is an ornate row house. In the previous video I talked about that one, the ornate. So it's a row home. It's the smallest of them, but the upstairs is a greenhouse where you can grow stuff. It's got this cool pattern that's over here, this cool looking top and all that. It's great. You could buy this one. I forgot how much is this? It's $100. But you know, I can craft a row house, greenhouse row house in game, not ornate like that. It's wooden, looks like a standard home, and I sell them for about 15 to 17,000 gold. A lot cheaper in game to buy it. What's the difference? That's prettier. The other one isn't. So their stance is to be able to offer things in here that are of better, you know, better looking. Some of the fancy looking stuff they'll offer them for the store. People are vain. People want to have some of that nice stuff, so they do that, and I support that. I can't say I've not bought things, and I've not purchased things in here. This 3-story village home, I have that one. This guy, one of the first houses I bought, I have that. Townhome, I have this 2-story keep. And there's actually another one. It's actually on the front page. I don't have these. Those are too big for me. I've got a... Remember, I have multiple properties too. I have this very large village inn that I use for rental systems. I bought that because that one I'm actually using as a rental house, apartments in there. So yeah, you can buy this stuff in here, but you don't. It's not something that's functionally going to make it better. One of the things I like talking about, especially people who are into fashion clothes and making clothes look their own, there's all these, you can make all types of normal dyes in the game. Bright red, light red, bright orange, regular orange, light orange, bright yellow, regular yellow, light yellow, greens, blues. But they have some really cool, like cycling, sparklies, glowing, pulsating. These you have to buy in the store. But even this, they have this little picture of this gold, it's called a kodo, a crown of the obsidian. You can actually get those in game. You can buy those crowns of the obsidians in game with gold from other people. And then you can go to special vendors and get these things from those vendors inside the game. So even these you don't even have to buy in the game, which is what these all kind of denote. You can buy these in game if you get kodos. You can purchase your own kodos and go get it in there. People do this to pay their taxes. Some people buy them here to sell them in the game. And they're even some of the kodos are dropped as loot from very high-end monsters. Not very often, but they're there. Bank slot upgrades. So there's all. I mean, some of it's functional, like the bank slot upgrades. But once again, you can do that in the game. At the bank, you can pay gold in the game to do it as opposed to cash out here. So they want to give people an access to purchase stuff. It helps fund the game. The money goes to fund the game itself. When you look at this, go back to here. When you look at this number here, and that is almost $11 million, is not just Kickstarter money or pledge donations. These are funds being raised through the store, people buying things, knowing that what they're buying is actually supporting the game out there. Now, some of you may say $11 million, but holy crap, what the hell did you spend $11 million on? Understand this, I mean, it is a gaming company. So it's a gaming company from Richard Garrett to all the people, whether it's people who are leading the projects, who are designing the mechanics, the architecture of it, running the servers, the people who are designing scenes, doing 3D art, doing support, doing the community manager and all that. There's a lot of people that's on a team. 11 million sounds like a lot. You think about that over 4 years. If I just had 10 people employed in a general average company with benefits and stuff, you know, a general, you could say that a safe round number, depending on the access, is probably around 100,000 fully loaded cost of a person. I'm not saying that's their number. I'm just picking a number out of the air. 100,000. That includes not only their salary, but the equipment for them, the insurance for them, all the monies that you don't see in your paycheck. 100,000. If you have 10 people, and they have more than 10 people, that's $1 million a year, just in pure, flat-out salary, and they have more than that. So you think half this money is going to go into labor. Other part of it's going to go into assets. They got to buy the Unity engine and the lights and the rights and all that. They've got to pay for things, assets that they buy to put in the game. They got to pay for the server equipment and all this stuff. So sounds big. It's really not that big. But understand that there's over 200,000 unique Britannias who have actually contributed to that. Now there may be duplicates in there. Like I have 2 accounts, 3 accounts actually. I have one that's particularly for brand new tutorials that I've added in here at the end. Very, very basic account, but you know, so there'd be 3 Britannians in there, but I'm one person on that, so that's not going to equate directly to people on there. But yeah, so it's purchasing the game can be as cheap as $40, and if that's all you want to spend, that's all you're going to spend. There's no commitment outside of it. $40 for this series. When they come out with the second one, you could wait till it comes out and spend $40 there. You could really like it, you could Kickstarter into it. You pay a little bit more, but you get a lot of cool goodies and all that stuff as well. The add-on store is there. Majority of it's for decorative purposes, and the things that aren't decorative, you have a way to purchase them in game with normal gold that you can go out and generate, selling stuff, collecting loot, doing whatever you do in the game. So not that bad, not that bad to get into it. If you're really a fan of the game, and you really like the cool stuff, like I want the house, I want to have that cool property, I want to have those cool little knickknacks. Then as they come into out of episode 1 going to episode 2, I would look at the Kickstarter on it. It's the best, the most inexpensive place, and you get in first on it to get that kind of stuff. So yeah, so okay, so enough on the purchasing and kind of the costs on this on there. That's basically what it is, and you know, some points you can try for free. Otherwise, you can come in at $40. Oh, I do want to talk about Marquis Dragon, one of the streamers out there. He is a business partner with Portalarium. It means he's actually, you know, they work hand in hand. They connect their systems. He is a trusted trader with them, meaning that they, you know, kind of back up each other and they carry each other. So they buying to him is a secure thing and a safe thing to do with it. Not only does he sell what's in the store, the add-on store there, and if I look at it, you can go in and, you know, here's the Viking bundles. 30 blank slots, Viking helm, just like there, $45. Same price. Woohoo! That's good. So you can buy that through him, but in addition to having just that, he also has Trusted Trader, where he's selling third party, or let's say used, that sounds bad. So here's a tax-free player-owned town village that he's selling. That's something that someone had, sold it to him, or is selling, or he's selling on behalf of someone. So you can go to the player marketplace in the forums, or you can sometimes come out of here and do that. This isn't just money that goes to him. In part of this partnership, things that he resells for them, Portalarium gets a cut of that, and it goes back to Portalarium to fund the development. So purchasing through them still helps Portalarium, even on the second-hand stuff that's going through that, which is really cool. Now, even to make that a little sweeter, and this is a plug on for me, and there's a couple of us out there that do that. And you can do it directly through Marquee. You can do it off of my site. There's a couple other streamers out there that have access to it. I'm an affiliate of Marquee. So in my my little affiliates thing, I have actually a link to that store. If you go through this link to Marquee Store, I get a little bit of credit because I help drive some business, as well as Portalarium getting credit. It helps pay for this. All the stuff we're doing here that I'm doing here isn't free, whether it's the cameras, the computers, softwares, and whatnot. In addition to that, there's actually a couple of codes in here. You can actually use SaveMac as a code, and it'll give you a 3% discount. So it will be a little bit cheaper than what you get out of the update, you know, get directly from the add-on store at Portalarium. If you use CreditMac, it'll give you 3.3. That's off of your next purchase. You can choose which one to use. So you can get the exact same thing delivered in the exact same way to you, but get it for 3% cheaper. which is good. And in addition to that, a little bit goes over to Marquis to support his, and a little bit comes through me to support me, and it all still gets part of it going back into Portalarium to, for the majority of it on there as well. So that's a couple different options. Shroud of the Avatars at shroudoftheavatar.com. Marquis Dragon's thing is store.marquisdragon.com, or just marquisdragon.com. You'll see his game code store. I just remember store.marquisdragon.com. And then mine, if you want to find that code, is on there, sodatutorials.com. It'll be linked at the end of this. Under the affiliates, tells about it. And if you're a streamer or whatever, if you want to become part of the affiliate program to offer the same things, Marquis is all willing to help set you up with that, just like he set me and others up. So there's a link to that as well. But follow this link, and that'll basically get you to his store. But it's just giving the cookie crumb trail that it came from my site or my link, and it just helps out. So we all kind of feeding at the same trough. You end up getting the best price. What the split of it, instead of all being purely Portalarium here, we are finding the customers for them. It's coming through Marquis, and he's getting his little cut of it. I'm finding it from Marquis, so I get my itty bitty little cut, and it goes to Marquis then there. So it's just good business for it. But in the end, for you, it means whatever you see in the add-on store, you can buy from him, and you using this code, this link, and this code, you can get 3% off. Sweet. So not that bad, It's, I said, every bit helps. We fight for pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters here. So all right, so that's enough on the pricings and all that stuff. So let me close this and get back to the game. So I said I've gone through story, graphics, performance, PvE, PvP, crafting, economy, social aspects, housing, purchasing, and cost of the game. Let's just do the wrap up here. I got to give the game a rating overall. If I was being honest, pure honest, critically honest, I hedged my bets. I'm a little bit sincere. I give it to a B minus in the game. There are some aspects I really like. There's a lot of stuff that has to be done and be completed to really get it into that A range. It's okay to be a B minus in the game right now. From my standpoint, it's a brand new game. It's written from scratch. Outside being the Unity engine and stuff, but the game itself, the concept, some of the things that they're doing, they built it from scratch. And I remember Ultima when I first joined. Ultima was really cool, but it had limitations. It was, it had problems. And then subsequent releases and additions and patches would come out and just made it so much better. If they stay focused on those things and make that kind of continuous and that make things interesting, different ways to want to be involved in PvP, working on the performance, making different options, making the crafting system even deeper, the fighting system even deeper. I think they could really hit the nail on the head. They got the hard one done. They got the community behind them. With a good community and a good game, you can take this as far as you want. They've got to take those steps. So I put them into B to B minus right now because they need to take those steps. The next couple of months are key. They can't come into final release and have any performance problems. They've really got to clean up all the stuff. I can't go and look at this field. This is the Gustball field over here. Notice, you see it? Isn't it pretty? See the red banners, the red and striped banners, and the bleachers, and where are they? There's a glitch right now with it. It's physically there, but it's not there. Go figure. There are things they have to fix. They need to get the obvious stuff fixed. They need to get performance done, and they need to get sure they get this thing kind of wrapped up and polished, and make sure that people have, especially new people coming in, can find their ways really easy to get in the game. If they do that, they'll quickly get out of that rating, the overall. Highlights, crafting is cool. Social is the best. I put housing and kind of the fighting, the deck system are kind of the next ones. And everything else kind of, I think is good and stuff that's coming out on there. The biggest downfall right now, performance. The rest of it's just polishing and mechanics they've got to fix up. But that's expected. We're not released yet, and they got to go through that. Am I happy I spent the money I spent? I won't say the amount of money I spent as a backer in the original. Yes. I've already gotten my value out of the game for the time I played it. I've already parlayed what I got as a back reward into multiple things, and I paid X amount of money. 4 years later, it was worth almost 2x. Just one portion of what I got was worth 2x in money. So I was able to take that and get a bunch of stuff. So I'm really happy with what I got with it. I have no regard, no problems backing it. I also didn't come with a lot of expectation. I didn't go from day one watching what are you doing, what you said you do this. Bought it, played around a little bit. It's great. Call me when you're ready for persistence. Waited 3 years later. Great, you're ready. Then I'm ready. Came into it, and I've been full bore the entire time with it. So I'm very happy with that. You're going to see some things out there as Steam reviews. Man, Steam's just a killer. Not everything is wrong in there. There are people that are bitching and griping about some legitimate things in there. There are also a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, that are bitching and griping about the game. Oh my God, it doesn't have this, or this is broken. Though, flat out in front, it's an early game. It's early access. It was listed as an alpha game, not even beta, that it was testing. And people are critiquing it. They're critiquing an early access game like it's a final product. That's just wrong. It's a bunch of noise. Personally, I would set it all aside. If it would say, hey, you got to spend a lot of money to get into it, no. Get the free trial, get into it, bump into the community, see if you like it. If you like it, play it. To hell with what they're saying. I mean, I'm proof that I really don't care what the guys on the Steam or wherever else are saying with it. You get a lot of guff on it. I said not all of it is wrong, but I think a lot of it is. So, what else on there from the game? Give myself some light. Is there anything else I really would have regretted out of it? Nope. I will tell you this. This is the first time I really participated heavy in an early access game. So a lot of the stuff that you would come in as a new player and experience for the first time, I've experienced. So when episode 1 is released, outside of the fixes and some of the new stuff as they continue to add things into it, I will have gone through a lot of this. So it's kind of like knowing what your Christmas present is. So I envy the people who are joining the game. I really do. That funness when the game is new. Being a more senior person in the game, I would tell you the key to any game like this is being involved with it, helping out, interacting with the community, but also setting specific goals. I have a pretty strong character. I can handle myself. I can't solo a dragon. I can't go out and kill, in the hardest of hard dungeons. I'm not a great PvPer. But you know what? Those are all individual goals that I had. Right now I've been able to kill bosses, or trolls, which are hard to kill in this game. My next one is to be able to kill the big boss troll all by myself. I'm working on it. It's just something where I'm learning to be really good in the mechanics of the game, how to be effective with spells, what combination of spells to do, different types of attacks, different armors, potions and whatnot. That's the fun. You really, if you get into that kind of stuff, there's a lot of deep mechanics you get to learn about, and some really cool streamers out there. You can find it. If you go and look at my links off the sototutorials.com website, there's a links page. I have a bunch of Twitch streamers out there. Kigu Starfish, Joke Gamers, Oxnull, some fantastic people to watch. Watching what they can do in the game is just incredible. But I said, I've got a little bit of envy for the newer players. That's why I like playing with them. All the newness, the newness that's in there. I'm not completely regretting it. I just, it's just one of those things. I am glad I've been able to get in and start doing a lot of the videos ahead of time, so I could prepare for the new people coming in. That's the trade-off. I get access to do that, and I think that's worth it as well. So that was it. So overall, B months right now. I think it will drift to be more of a doing. If they do what they said they're going to do, is going to drift to a BB plus. And I'm leaving that other spot because the important part will be the monthly releases and what they do after. The new episode they'll work on, including the addition of new systems and new stuff into here. And I'm not talking about adding a new decoration. I'm talking about they come in and add the new part to crafting system, a new tree, or expand out agriculture, or add in a new combat mechanic. I know like right now they're supposed to put in pugilism, which is in there. You can fight with your fists and have that as a skill, which would be cool. So yeah, that's where I stand. I said this is a 5-part series. It's not short. That's why I broke it up. But it's this is all based upon my opinion, my vantage, my viewpoint, my vantage. And I'm up to criticism on this one. If people say no, you're completely off your rocker, well then go ahead. I mean, please do. In the end, it's an opinion, it's a viewpoint. I think I've been fair. I think if I would have came in as a fanboy, I'd be like saying, yeah, it's awesome, it's great, A+, everything I wanted. It's not the case. Try not to be. But I'm also trying to give them credit where I think the really cool parts are. So, and I'll show you. Let me show one thing here. See the stars up here? See this? This is an astrolabe. If I click that, it highlights the patterns of the stars. These things actually do and are involved in the game. They control some of the functionality in the game, moves phases, what planets are in line with it, and it changes each night, which is why you have devices like this. So it's pretty darn cool. Sometimes you see things like that in game, go, that's just pretty awesome. I like that kind of stuff. I like the kind of stuff you kind of go, wow, and you just kind of giggle. So that's it. So B minus, I think. I'm hoping then by the time it gets to release, they'll drift it to a B plus, and that gives them good room to grow in it. That's just my opinion. Comments, please throw them on the video. Thumbs up or thumbs down. It's Elaina Strongbow from SodaStutorials.com. At the end here, video's going to pop up. Previous video in the series. Below that is a link to the SodaStutorials.com website and all the other sites in there. Click on that. You want to see what I've been up to, what I will be doing, and affiliate links and links to streamers. Then there's a picture of me, the Fairy Wings. If you're liking the content, please go ahead and click on that. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's free. Lets me know that hey, I'm reaching out and I'm hitting the mark with the audience. Thanks. Take care. Bye bye.